Hey folks, Jonathan here. Alright, Studebaker. Kind of doing this backwards. Normally I do the video and then talk, but I'm gonna, well, sometimes I talk all the time, but I'm gonna go ahead and explain to everybody what's going on. I'm gonna tell you the reason I'm doing this. So this is a first start video. I get way more views on a first start video than I do on pulling the engine down, putting it together. Not everybody's interested in that. So I want to explain to everybody, because everybody's going to look and say, oh, it's a brand new engine. Of course it started good, but I want to give the backstory on it. That way people that have watched this video but not all the other ones will understand what's going on. So this is a barn find car, been in the barn since we have estimated the early 70s, and that's about right on the money, early 70s. But so somewhere around 50 years. So when I got it home, somebody had put new spark plugs in it. Now they put them in it years back because they were rusty on the outside, but like brand new on the inside. So I think what they done was, I think this engine was stuck, and I think it was stuck really hard, and they got it unstuck. So when we put a battery in it, and I moved a little bit, and I knew that it wasn't completely stuck, so we threw a battery in it and cranked it over, and it spun just as fast as, you know, it was like the starter was way better than what it should have been. So it was very loose, and which surprised me. So when we investigated this thing a little further, we found that we had 8 push rods bent and 10 valves stuck. And the reason that we had 10 valves stuck and 8 push rods bent, of course the guide was in really good shape. It's a low mile engine, and or the whole car is right around 75,000. And the reason that only 8 bent instead of 10 is because 2 of them were already open, and so they wasn't pushing on the push rod when the engine turned over. So that's why it didn't bend them. But anyway, so went through, found one bad piston. I put one used piston in it. I did put new valves in it, but the reason I put new valves in it is because they were stuck so hard, I was afraid I was going to warp them pretty bad getting them out and bend them and cause other issues. And you know, even if you straighten a valve out, you don't need a valve head coming off on a, you know, engine that you just put together. So had to do that. Carburetor was completely stopped up. I mean, you could look down in it and see about half full of stuff, and had to make a fuel pump for it, which I'm getting some flack over now because I cut an original arm up, which wasn't an original arm. It was actually an aftermarket pump that was on it. After doing some research, I figured that out. The original pumps, just real quick to tell you, the original pumps on the arm has a stack of plates, and that's a wear plate, and they stack them together and rivet them. Well, this arm was just a regular cheap arm, so it was actually an aftermarket pump, and we put at least an aftermarket arm, and we put that arm onto this pump. And let me see, radiator was busted real bad at the bottom where this thing had froze. It had one freeze plug, soft plug, expansion plug, core plug, cam plug, whatever you want to call it. You know, we've always called them freeze plugs, but they're not for freezing, they're for cleaning the cores out after you've sandcasted. So anyway, had one of them out, had to put one in it. Exhaust is just short pieces, and just not even really a downpipe, just about 6 inches on each pipe, and everything else was rusted off of it. Just about anyway. So anyway, here is the first start of this thing, and I hope you enjoy it. Hey folks, Jonathan here. Alright folks, it's Saturday morning, and I'm afraid it's going to start raining here soon. It's actually supposed to thunderstorm all day, and I got up early this morning to come out here to try to get some things wrapped up first. It's going to rain in the morning, thunderstorms, and then tomorrow evening I'm going catfishing, so this may be the only chance we got to mess with this thing right now. So the plan is to go ahead and temporary tank it, and now I'm not going to leave it on there temporary. It's just going to be temporary enough just to start it and see if we can get this thing fired up. The only thing I need to do now is get it in time. Got the new points in, got it firing. The coil I checked out, it was good. So we've got the original coil with the original ballast resistor. We're not going to hook the tack up yet. I'm going to go through and clean everything on it before we go to messing with it. It's too expensive of a piece just to go ahead and you know, do it and not worry about whether it's stuck or needs oiled inside or whatever. So we'll wait on that. And I want to show you, of course, I got to roll it up on number 1, top dead center. And I was going to get my wife out here to help, but this is surprising here. Good to have long arms. All right, got the old plug wires on it, which we're putting new ones on it, so it's just temporary stuff. And we'll put the new holders and all that good stuff on it so it looks good. Looks pretty raggedy like that. But anyway, I gotta run and grab some gas real quick. Hopefully I can get back before these storms start. Maybe get her started up. All right, folks, we're gonna try to start it. It's gonna be the first start in 50 years. I haven't even really tried anything yet, so let's see what it does. All right, take my choke off. Well, there you go, folks. Running good. Just some little fine tuning to do there, but carburetor's doing good. Fuel pump's doing good. That mechanical picked right up real quick. It wasn't that bad. I didn't want to burn starter up or anything because these starters are unobtainium. And I didn't want to have to bury it out there with the Franklin starter. So anyway, that's why I just kept adding a little bit of gas at the time until we got it. Until I knew it was primed up. I was beginning to wonder there for a minute, but we got it. So anyway, there you go. Sounds good, runs good, and I put it in gear and it actually pulled. I'm not sure what the arrangement is, but it felt like I pulled it down the first gear and the first notch and it went forward. So reverse must be down or something, I don't know. I'm not even familiar with it and you can't read it, so the plastic on it's messed up. So anyway, we'll figure all that out, but it did try to move, so I think we're on. We just got a gas tank on and a little brake work, just little stuff, tiny stuff. Carburetor seems like it's going to be just fine. A little bit of hesitation, but it probably needs the timing advanced a little bit. And you know, it's possible too that the vacuum advance is no good. That's always a possibility. But idling and you know, revving everything besides the little hesitation, it seems real good. I adjusted the choke off because, you know, it's got a heat choke. It comes through, and I may have had it a little tight anyway, but you know, they're not hard to mess with, and they just got a bimetallic spring in it that changes when it heats. Bimetallic means two different kinds of metal side by side, and one of them expands at a different rate than the other, and you know, that's what makes it move like it does. You take two pieces of steel, lay one on top of each other, and if one of them shrinks, the other one's going to end up having to bend. So that's how that works. All right, so anyway, a few more things to do, but we're getting her. And like I said, the brakes is one of the main things. And I still haven't got the generator taken care of yet. Got to decide what I'm going to do on that. But I think everything's good. It started off the tank. I can hear the thunder coming. So we probably won't mess with this again until Monday or Tuesday. Which you never know how that works out, but that's the plan. So let me get my mess cleaned up here before the storm gets here, and appreciate everybody watching. And until next time, bye.